What is good, everybody? What is good? Thank you so much for checking out the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As the title says, I wanted to talk about and celebrate and say thank you to all of you all for the 10K subscribers. It would be nice to have them all on at one time, but people got busy lives and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate it. Hello to Chaos Rain. Hello to you. All is well. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate it. Make sure you all hit the like button. Make sure that you all say hello so that we can acknowledge you and say hello. Thank you all so much. I do have a few episodes, excuse me. Yeah, I do have a few videos that I wanted to show in case uh, things get a little bit slow. Um, Miles, hello, what's going on? And Moni D, hello to you and to everyone else who's watching and going to watch in the future. Make sure that you all say hello so that I can acknowledge you. NW, hello. Thank you so much for joining in. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we hit 10K subs a little while ago. And I was away doing some stuff, doing some work, and I did not have the time to do a proper show like I wanted to. I was away when I did the show with Dr. Diane Stewart, so but that came out fairly well. But I had some other travels to do, and I didn't have the time to do it. Hello from Florida. Thank you so much. I was there not too long ago. I was in Florida and Texas. So let's see. Yes, thank you so much, Rhonda. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Hello to you, Deborah. All right. So let's see. I got everyone else, I think. So hello to everyone who's going to join. So I wanted to try to go over some stuff that we found out from the last year. I think it's been almost a year now that I've been on, a little bit more than a year. So we got 10K subs, and back in, I think it was August, I said I wanted to get to 10K subs by Christmas. That was to be a good Christmas present, and that has definitely been a good Christmas present. So thank you to you all. To anyone who doesn't know, I wear an extra large, so make sure you can send me something or a nice bottle of cologne or something like that. So hello to Gail. Hello. Let's see. So what do we got going on for today? There's been a few things that I want to talk about. I had a balloon pop that I wanted to go over, but I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I can't find it, I should say. I just can't find it. So first thing we're going to start off with is the evolution of this show and how it came to be about, how the show came to be about, and the evolution that I've been on. So first off is the evolution is, let me put this in the chat so I can put it on the screen here. The evolution. Let me spell everything right here. So the first thing we'll talk about is the evolution. So anybody who doesn't know, I do have a couple other podcast channels. This one's by far the largest. I was doing a show called Captain Hunter's Podcast. That was when I first kind of retired, and it's still up. You guys can search for that if you like. Captain Hunter's Podcast. A lot of good guests on there. I thought I was bridging the divide between the police and the community, and I recognized after a while that a lot of people don't want to hear about that. Either the police are right or wrong, and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where their thought process is. So, but it was a good starting point. And again, it's still on Podbean. You can download the audio and still listen to it and all that kind of stuff. And as I mentioned, I had some good guests. And if you want to know about police stuff and other stuff, that would be a good place to start. And also, that's where I really started getting into education. As far as talking to a lot more teachers, figuring out, because I want to figure out, how come our community looks the way that it does, why, what's going on with that. So I had a few teachers on there. I had a teacher of the year, Miss Johanna Hayes, who is now a U.S. House of Representative members for the state of Connecticut. We actually went to middle school together, so she came on the show. So a lot of good stuff. No, oh my, you can't find it. Can't find what? The podcast is definitely up if that's what you're talking about. So from after that, let me put this back up here. So after that, continuing to evolution, right? I started another channel. Just kind of, I want to separate those two between bridging the divide between the police and the community. So I started LMH Consulting Services, which is the name of my consulting service, and then and so that one's still up, really small, 200 followers or whatever. Yeah, I can't find it. I can't find the Pop the Balloon. It was a great one, and I can't find it. I thought I bookmarked it, but I can't find it. So anyway, but yeah, maybe we could talk about that. I have many friends with cops of color. Their perspective is it's a difficult job from a mental standpoint, because you're always seen as a sellout and all this kind of crazy stuff. And most cops I know are the blackest of individuals. By that I mean that they are definitely down for the community, for the culture, and all that kind of stuff. I haven't met anyone who's quote unquote been a sellout, so I haven't met them. So from that, I started LMH Consulting Services, where I uploaded 2 shows last week or so, just talking about just different things going on in the community and all that. Hey Candace, thanks so much for checking this out. Appreciate it. And then from there, where we go, and so from there, I also, as you all know, completed my degree in last year, as a matter of fact, almost a year ago. And so from there, that's why I started the show, just to talk about my journey and all that kind of stuff, my journey in getting my doctorate. So, and then from there, I did a couple of episodes about I'm gonna try to pull it up here. I did a couple episodes about self-improvement. Those kind of picked up a little bit, and then from there I did 1 or 2 episodes about relationships, and the ladies kind of hijacked it. And that's where we are today. So yeah, so that's where we are today. So these are if you haven't gone through the catalog, well, I'm saying that to say I think there's some good stuff in here. If you want to go back to school, right, this is all about PhD and my dissertation, how to pick a topic, and black men in higher education, and all that kind of stuff, right? So if you're interested in go back to school, or you just want to just something to watch, whatever. So I think that all that would be good. And then I got into and then I did a couple of episodes about just self-improvement. And that's really really what I want this channel to be about, is really in particular men self-improving, becoming the best versions of themselves. And that's when you can start to see the numbers start to improve a little bit. And then I did a show about where do you get your confidence from. That really kind of picked things up. Where do you get your confidence from? And social media setting you up for failure, and that was a really big one. And then another one was, how come no one ever told me this? So those shows in particular really kind of started this journey to where we are today. And some things are really about the title. You can see I did a show here about is social media destroying your self-esteem? That's on the left side, the one that's moving there. Is social media destroying your self-esteem? 2 shows later, I do is social media setting you up for failure, and I got a lot more. I got a lot more views. So it's a lot of things are about the title. So this has just been in evolution and learning and stuff. So I wanted to talk about a couple things here. And one of the biggest things is what I learned from about this, and what some things that have been very surprising to me. And I'd like to hear from you all. Have you watched some shows? What have you been your favorite episodes? What would you like to hear more of, less of? Things along those lines as we go for the next 10,000, and in all that. So one of the things I found to be most surprising, all the episodes, and I went kind of looked at them the other day. One that I found to be the most surprising to me was the one about hygiene. One about hygiene, and that was really kind of something. I didn't recognize that it was such a problem, and that so many people were having that issue with meeting people whose hygiene wasn't up to par. So that was surprising. And feel free to jump in the comment section in all that if there's something that you thought was surprising or whatever. And let me put that up here, talking about surprising. Let's see. Yes, more hygiene for men. You want me to talk about more hygiene for men? More hygiene for men. What is this? What am I doing here? I know I didn't spell this right. It was surprising. Let's see. What was surprising, and so that was an episode that I really found to be surprising. Is what was surprising concerning hygiene. Also, the whole social media thing. I thought that when I talk about this particular episode, social media is just setting you up for failure. I found that to be kind of surprising in that that I'm not alone in this, right? Being back out here in the dating market and all that, and seeing all the social media, how many people are really influenced about it and or influenced by it, and so that I thought that was really kind of surprising to me. Also, this one also is how come nobody ever told me this. Now I kind of just did that one. That was kind of 20,000 is pretty big for me, and and it just came from the heart. Like, listen, this is something that we all kind of deal with, being a man, being a black man, and growing up in a certain environment, and all this information is out there, right? The whole game thing, right? Nobody ever told you the game. And as I said in the video, if I haven't watched it recently, but as I remember saying in the video, that all this wealth of information is out there, and no one's telling us this, right? And we're watching our future generations and current generations, and watching our future generations make these mistakes that we really don't have to be, that we really, and that is kind of bothersome to me, that we're making these mistakes and we don't have to be making them, and this information is out there. So that's just kind of where I was at. But those are some things that I thought to be surprising. Hello to you, Dolores. I just came across your channel not too long ago, but you do great work. Celebrate yourself. You are uplifting. Thank you. I appreciate it. Proof be gone for good. Poof be poof gone for good. Thank you so much. What's surprising in not seeing a woman's version of this channel? I think I come across a lot of versions, if that's what you're talking about, or a version of hygiene. What are you talking about in particular? I've seen a lot of women who are trying to do some good work. There's a lady I saw, a Bohemian sister or something like that. She's from the Bahamas, and she's trying to talk about a lot of uplifting stuff. So dealing with imposter syndrome was one that truly motivated me to push forward on applying for a position that I was holding back on. Thank you. Listen, imposter syndrome is huge. It's really, really huge. Something like 70% of people go through it in their life. Um, the numbers are all kind of over the place. It's not recognized as a psychological phenomenon, but it's definitely something that I struggled with a long time. I told the stories about my time in the police department. I can remember sitting around the big table, right, in these different meetings that we had, and I'm going through my mind and looking at all these different people who went to private school, and this person got a degree, this person got a degree, this person did this and that, and so I started to feel bad about myself, and there's really no reason for me to be sitting back and not thinking that I had these qualifications or whatever. So here I am. I'm a product of a single parent household, went to public school, but yet in my mind, I'm trying to convince myself that I deserve to be in the room with these people, and I deserve to be in the room with these people. So that kind of pushed me. And then of course I went back to school, and I finished when I left the PD. I had a master's degree, and if you want to do anything within life, within these jobs, unfortunately, you got to have a certain level of education. And if you wanted to be a chief, like I wanted to be at one time, you gotta have it. You can be a chief with a bachelor's degree, but you just gotta have more qualifications. So I appreciate you saying that, Gail. Imposter syndrome was huge for me, and it took me a long time to fight through that. It took me a long time. I had to fight through all the stuff that you guys can't see it, but I got a lot of stuff on my wall here, and it's still hard. Sometimes the demons are the ones that we erect in our own minds, right? The highest fences are the ones that we erected in our own mind, and if you can't beat them in yourself, then that's an issue. And that's another reason why I want to start the channel, is just to talk about all the stuff that we're dealing with, and try to get over these hurdles in life, right? Maybe more poster need to be put out for men. If they see the picture, they take heed. Um, I can probably do that, I guess, a little bit of that. Black men have to be accessible to everything, hygiene included. Yeah, listen, that's a thing. That is a thing. We have to be exceptional. I was watching a podcast before. They were talking about this just today, talking about we have to do um, twice as much to be considered half as good. And my grandmother used to tell me that. And my grandmother used to tell me that, and try to tell my kids that. Listen, there's always going to be the stigma about us, about you. It's always going to be there, And now entering into more in this space, and really kind of doing a little bit more of deep dives. There's a lot of stigma that I didn't recognize was going on for Black men. I got to be honest, I didn't realize it was going on, because I was always the kid. I was all even though I went to even though I went to public school, I went to public school, but I was always in the advanced classes. I was always in the honor roll classes, and there was a few of us in there. As a matter of fact, I ran into one at the airport. When I was traveling. He's now a medical doctor, a cardiologist. So I'm going to have him on the show one day, and we're going to hook up and talk, and he's going to come on the show one day. He's going to talk about his journey. We went to high school together, so it can be done. And I'm used to seeing this, but if you're not used to seeing that type of thing, it's an issue. It's an issue on women's hygiene. Jeez. I, I don't know if I want to talk about women's hygiene. I don't know how. I mean, I guess there's different things you should be doing, or washing, or using, or to keep yourself clean and all that kind of stuff. So, you guys can come on the show. I'll give you a platform to do it. But I don't want to talk about women's hygiene. So, mental health. Yeah, yeah. I did an episode that one got a lot of clicks too. Let me see. It's up here somewhere about what did I talk about? Another thing, well, before I get to that one, so what I did find to be surprising, and I'm really kind of disappointed with, in all honesty, is that a lot more of these we talk about imposter syndrome, a lot more of the self-improvement type of videos haven't picked up. And as I look at this, right, 169 views for Stop Being a Perfectionist. Why don't people take accountability, difficult decisions, uh be motivated, be hungry. Even these Father's Day messages, I've got a couple of emails, or people, or even in sometimes the comment section, talking enough about men. Yeah, how come you're not? This whole channel is about self-improvement, about men. The whole that's what I started off with, right? So and then I did a couple of them about fathers being present, exercise your body, change your life. And the more you exercise, it changes your mentality, all that kind of stuff, right? Know your worth. This is all geared towards men. Keys to consistency, figure out your purpose, the need for mentors, strong uncles and aunties. So you can't ever say I didn't do the work. You can't ever say I didn't do the work, as far as doing all that, as far as talking to men, trying to get them to become the best version of themselves. Going forward, maybe hearing discussions toward the difficulties in parenting. Yeah, so somebody asked me to do a playlist about getting older, um, retirement, things about that. So that's definitely something that I want to do. Um, so I thank you for that, and that's something that is going to be coming up. I was a single parent for a little while before I actually got remarried. So, in coming from a single parent home, I understand that. So there's a lot of things you got to deal with, and you talk about imposter syndrome. A lot of this stems from the lack of confidence, because fathers in general put a lot of confidence within their children. They push you to do more, be more, and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of that ties in together. So definitely, so those are some shows that I'm going to do. So as somebody did ask me to do a playlist about that, I'm going to write it down and make sure I get to that within the next. I think that's one I want to do live with some kind of expert in that field. So yeah, even a good man means to be man means being exceptional. Listen, you got to be there's been podcasts about being not being. If I would have thought about it, some of the stuff I can't find, but and I didn't record this one, but there is a woman who's saying you can't just be a good dude. You got to be a superstar. You're right. Being good isn't good enough. Right. Thank you. I appreciate that, Melody. I appreciate that, Melody. I'm trying. I'm trying. Yes, being an empty nester. So that was one of the playlists. So whoever sent me that playlist, if that's you, the playlist is coming for 2025. So that's definitely on it. Some things I want to do with lives, and something I'm going to do. I'm driving in the car. So, but that is definitely on there for that. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll up here, see what. Uh, this was another one that what would I tell my younger self about marriage? I actually thought that could should have got more, because I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm trying to give people, as I mentioned in the previous video, the game. And I thought that that should have, especially now. I mean, got a lot of more followers, listeners, and all that kind of stuff. So I would think that people would go back and kind of watch that. So if you haven't watched any of these, make sure you go back and watch them. Real talk, I made in my mistakes I made in my 20s and 30s. You know, I'm in my 50s now. So this is, 20, 30 years ago. But I think that that should be more. Here's another Father's Day message. Be the type of father you always wanted. 196 views. I'm not trying to blow my own horn or anything, but I think that's terrible. And that's been surprising to me that a lot more people aren't try to check those things out and just trying to become the best versions of themselves. And it's unfortunate. Talk about the red pill space. We talk about the red pill space. We talk about this kind of toxic type of event or toxic type of system that's going on out here, this whole manosphere type of thing. And a lot of these guys are really kind of adhering to the more negative type stuff. I don't, as you've watched me say, I don't think 100% negatively of the red pill space. I think it can be an educational space, but there is a lot of toxicity out there that needs to be that needs to be checked. And there's a lot of information I think that I'm giving out to say, hey, you can become a better version of yourself. And then I get Miss Anita here, and she did a great video to which I responded, reacted to, and we've been friends ever since. So I want to say thank you to her and all that. Yeah, the empty nester is coming. Gosh, I hope you watch one of Love Dorsey's videos. I will check her out. I will check her out. I will check her out. Somebody else said that as well. So those are some things. So my favorite show. So that's that. So my favorite. If you had a favorite episode, you can put it in the chat here. My favorite was. I'm the worst typer in the world. My favorite. My favorite is this one. Should an older man get married? Pros and cons. Um, should an older man get married? Pros or cons. So that has been my favorite. The other one that I think would be one of my favorite is what I would tell myself about probably these two. What I would tell my younger self about marriage, real talk, mistakes I made in my 20s and 30s. I think those are some of my favorites that I've done thus far. Um, so I'm trying to look to see what some of my other favorites are. Talking about being a parent, right? So here's a video about how to be a step parent, but a video will be forthcoming about being a single parent. Why that's my favorite? Um, because I think I was very transparent in that one. I think because I was transparent in that, because I said to myself, what mistakes I could have talked a lot more about my mistakes. I could have talked a lot more about that. But I think that it was something that I really kind of struggle with and really tried to take some self-assessment with. It may not have come through on the exact show, but it was definitely something that was in the back of my mind that I really need to confront some things in my life. And I'm still confronting them, right? We're never um that that I didn't watch. Yeah, listen, you need to be going back and watching all of them. Hit the like button on all of them, and hit the like button on this one as well. So, so those are some of my favorites. I don't particularly. Here's something that may be surprising me. Now, I don't really particularly like enjoy talking about the relationship stuff. Not because it's negative or all that kind of stuff, but because it's I don't want to seem like I'm downing the ladies or whatever. I enjoy talking about talking to men and trying to get them to become the best version of themselves. But a lot of times ladies are asking these questions, and I'm trying to give a good answer as to what men are looking for and what things we do right, what things we do wrong. And it's really trying to give women the game, because I think that a lot of times women don't understand men. And as I'm really researching this space, I'm really finding out that women do not understand men. And that's, I meant to put that in surprising thing, is that that has been surprising, that women really don't understand men. And I do have a video that's going to kind of demonstrate that. Is that we think that you don't understand men, you think that you know, but you really don't. And it's really a shame. I'm not saying that I'm just saying that men have been trained from the time that they were 10, 11, 12, starting to come into their age. What does it take to get a woman? What does it take to get her attention? How do you level up? How do you become the best version of yourself? How do you get muscles? How do you talk to girls? I can remember a friend of mine, we growing up in church and stuff, he would go to like different girls in the church and be like, oh, see my friend over there, he likes you, he's gonna come over and talk to you. And then he would like push me in that direction. So I had to go talk to her, right? That's putting me on to how to get more confident in talking to ladies. So you got to figure out what they like, what's going to entertain them, and all that kind of stuff. You got to get over that shyness. So I don't think that a lot of times ladies are going through that same type of thing. They're just kind of sitting back and just waiting for the guy to be so impressive to them. And so it's a different dynamic in all that. So having said that, let me play a video here that's going to kind of demonstrate kind of what I'm saying, if I can find it here. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. All right. So here's a video here.
Men have the hardest fucking job in keeping women happy. You can't let us get too hot or too cold. You got to make sure you have a little snacky so that we don't get hangry. We love it when you're a cute, funny, naughty, not a creepy pervert. We want you to support and take care of us, but know that we are strong, independent women and we can take care of ourselves. There is always such a fine fucking line, and you never know if you're on the right side of it, because if you get it right, we change all the rules. Men are the easiest fucking creatures to keep happy. You got to feed them, fuck them, and appreciate them. And that's it. Men have the hardest fucking job in
Can't say any better than that. Can't say it any better than that. It's so simple to keep us happy. It's so simple that a lot of times I think the ladies want to make it more complicated and try to complicate things. And it's really not any more complicated than that. There's no magic formulas and all this kind of stuff, right? So all that kind of stuff. I think this is another video is going to say the same thing. I think I haven't watched it in a while.
Unfortunately, we have adopted this mentality that I can do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me anything. And this is why we are where we're at. We live in a very selfish, egotistical society now that nobody cares. If you're a Black woman and the whole Black woman accountable, you have to be ready to fight, because it's going to come with a lot. I'm always thinking about how young girls are being influenced. So what us grown women are doing is influencing these girls to do these out of control, I don't care attitudes. They have the most disgusting attitudes, and you can't even check them because they have their moms who say I could do whatever I want. So can't no one hold us accountable. Not a Black man. Your white boss probably, that's probably the only one who can tell us what to do because he pay us. A gay man can tell us what to do. If it's a Black woman or a Black man, a straight Black man, we don't want to hear it. No one can hold Black women accountable. Black women, unfortunately, we have adopted this mentality that I can do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me anything. And this is why we are where we're at. We live in a...
That wasn't the exact video I want to play, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. Hold on, let me see here. Why do you not believe that men are simple? This is what I'm saying, because there's this idea that ladies are so complicated. As she talked about the heat and the walking this fine line, and I got to do this and I got to do that, and you think that men are like that as well, and we're not. We don't need all that. A lot of times, and I've been reading this book. I've been reading this book by Dr. Chris Marsh. She's coming on the show. We just solidified it February 9th. She did a very similar book to Dr. Diane Stewart. So if you watched the episode with Dr. Diane Stewart, part 2 of Why Black Women Can't Find Love, this is going to be a continuation of that. And so February 9th, Dr. Chris Marsh, Chris with a K, is coming on the show. And she wrote a very, as I mentioned, very similar book. And she is, going through, how simple men are in the dating market and how difficult it is for ladies to find men and all this type of stuff, right? Pretty good book. So, and there's this idea that men are just these complicated creatures. And yes, are there some people out there who have done all that and still cheated? Yes, of course. I'm not going to deny that. And I've talked about and will continue to talk about and probably do episodes in the future about men. And that was another episode too, is that I've really found to be very disappointing. Let me see if I can find that one here. That was an episode that I found to be very disappointing. That a lot more. It was something about raising your boys not to be predators. So all these ladies who want all this stuff from men. Where have all the good men gone? That one got a lot of them. Men intimidated. Healing after divorce. Men and women fixing the problem. Why can't men settle with one woman? And that one got a lot of views. Waking up to the agenda. Why is self-improvement so hard? Still not to where I want to be with the numbers and stuff. But I appreciate people watching. But I did an episode about raising our boys not to be predators, not to be exactly what we're talking about. And it got like considerably speaking, low views, like 800 views or something like that. Let me see here. Maybe I can find it this way. Yeah, teaching boys not to be predators, 791 views. Come on now. I mean, come on. What is that? So this is what I'm saying here, So we gotta. That's what I'm saying is that we got to do better as far as what we're tuning into, what we're trying to be, and all that kind of stuff. So, Equally Yoked was a good one. I'm not checking Jack. Let's see. Is there one that you felt you struggled with? One, I'm not sure if I understand the question. I don't get the simple stuff. I want to understand it. Yeah, and I think that's the complexity of it. Is that you think that you're complicated, so you think that men are complicated. It can't be just that simple, just to give them a sandwich and give them sex. It just can't be that simple. It just can't be. Because we need more. We need this. I need that. I need this. We don't need all that. Oh, and I was starting to talk about Dr. Marsh, and what I want to bring out is that she in her book that she wrote, she talked about how women are excelling and buying homes and all this kind of stuff. Men don't care about that. Men will live in a paper cardboard box as long as you can travel, maybe a nice car. So we have different value systems, and that seems to be so troubling. Why don't you want a big house? Why don't you want this? We get these big houses and all this kind of stuff for you. I actually want to downsize from my house. It's too much. It's too much. I want to downsize. Give me a 1-bedroom. When I went away, I was in a 1-bedroom. I was in a resort kind of thing. 1-bedroom, living room, dining room. That was it. That's all I need. Bathroom. That's all I need. That's all I need. The man that's the right one or ready to commit to that one woman is probably simple, right? If he's ready to, particularly one who's ready to commit, I think it would be that simple. If you're ready, if a man is mentally ready to commit, hear me. If he's really there, and he's found that one right woman, there's nothing going to stop him. Nothing going to stop him. You're going to check his phone, check to see where he's at. And I don't like to play that boring stuff or ladies claiming that men are boring, but I do have one. Let me see if I can find it. There was one woman was saying that she don't like men because they don't like men because they're boring. Let me see if I can find that one. I don't know if I saved it because I don't really like stuff like that. Uh, if this one is by Princella here. I don't like playing her stuff, but I will play it because she talks about looking for that toxic type of guy. So I'm guessing that the man has integrity in that place, then he is simple, but there or complex men. So I'm guessing that the man that has integrity and at that place, then he is simple, but there or are complex men. I don't know if they're complex. They're just not at that place. I think the complexity that you have that you're dealing with when you think that the man is coming off as complex is because he's just not ready. He's just not at that place. And you want him to be at that place. Well, he may want you, but he might still want to explore his options. That's where the complexity comes in. You think he's complex because he's all over the place. He's not giving you straight answers. But a guy who's ready, there's none of that. There's none of that. So let me play this by I think this is by Princella here, who I'm not a big fan of, but she did every once in a while she does say some good stuff here. So we'll play this one.
I just cut it off. A lot of women feel like in order to get that attention and that they need to put themselves in chaotic situations because a lot of people don't like peace and harmony. If a woman is with a guy, let's just say she with somebody, a man who is trying to do the right thing, Tony, he's trying to be faithful. He going to work and doing this.
Right.
And he don't cheat and he ain't talking to no other females. The woman will think something is wrong and she will create a problem where there is not one in order for her to feel alive. The women are addicted to chaos. They like men who reject them because if he rejects her, it makes her have to prove to herself and other women that she's that big. And if she can be successful in getting it, it's like she get a shot of dopamine. The women are addicted to chaos. They actually don't like peace, and neither do men.
Yeah.
If you too peaceful and you too cool, we got to create something that can make this more thrilling and more exciting.
I disagree about the men part. I think that men do want peace, and particularly the type of men. Now, the question was asked by Crystal. How do we know that they are mentally ready to commit? So many of them waste our time. I think that what I'm trying to do is get you to understand when the guy's wasting your time and when if he's ready, if he's there. Listen, I just think that he'll go for it. Right? He's ready. He's there. He's gonna go for it. But if he still wants to play the field, and they listen, the guys want to have their cake and eat it too. And this may sound like complexity, but it's really just I'm just not there yet. I'm mentally not there. I want to keep. I want to deal with you. I want to deal with her. I want to deal with all. Continue to keep my options open, explore my options. That's just the bottom line. I mean, and again, it's a simplicity. This man is not. He wants to have me. He wants to have me doing, he wants to have me in his corner on his roster. So that's what it is. I would say that the man who knows what he wants, he knows if you're wife material. So there's a mental thing that we're talking about where the man is actually ready. I'm talking about the man who's ready, not a man who's going to waste your time, not a man who still wants to keep his roster and his options open. But I'm not talking about that type of man. I'm talking about the man who's really ready, and to a certain extent, what Princella was just saying in that previous video is that some people just don't like peace, and a guy who's ready. By a guy who's ready, I'm saying he has whatever he's wanted to do, he's done it. He's done with the games. He's done with the bars, the clubs. He's done running around. He's done with all that. That type of guy who's ready, he's not looking for chaos. And if he is, then that is a chaotic man. Because a guy who's working, he wants to come home. He wants to relax. He wants to come home to a nice, peaceful home with a nice, beautiful woman. Maybe his kids are there, or maybe they're grown up or whatever. He's not looking for any type of drama. He's not trying to go to your phone. He's not trying to do this. He's not trying to listen. He's not trying to deal with any kind of foolishness like that. So that's the type of guy I'm talking about. That Love Dorsey spoke about toxic men and healed men, and they're different. But the women who is unhealed called healed men boring. That's exactly what Priscilla was saying. So she's right occasionally. Actually, she did a video. I was away when I saw it, so I didn't do a breakdown of it. But she actually admitted, now she dates women, and she's like, listen, these women out here are a mess, and they are chaotic, and that they got some serious issues going on, and they don't know what they want, and all the kind of stuff. And it was a good video. It was like a 2-hour podcast, and she was being interviewed by some guy. And she's admitting a lot of stuff that a lot of guys are saying, and in red pill space, ironically, are saying is that there's a lot of craziness out here. So, then he turned into a monster. Thank you, Jamisha. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's the environment that women were raised in. What do you expect? How long is that going to be an issue? And I mean this sincerely. I mean, how long are we going to keep talking about this environment that what is it going to take to change this environment? How long? Dr. Amos Wilson, was a famous psychologist, died in the 1990s, 1995, I believe it was. He said that individual therapy, and this is the problem I have with in particular Black therapy. I don't think there's anything wrong if you've gone through trauma, as maybe you were touched as a kid or something like that. Go get the help that you need. But this type of stuff that we got going on within our community, it's not going to be healed with individual one-on-one therapy. We need class macro therapy. I'm talking about different schools. I'm talking about different psychology. I'm talking about religion. I'm talking about all that. We need a very, very different way of viewing the world. And this example, this environment of women raised in toxic environments and then taking out their toxicity and calling lame guys boring, or the boring guy lame and all this kind of stuff. That's got to stop, because it's hurting our overall numbers. It's hurting our overall numbers. Let me play another video here. I got a bunch of them for us today. Let me play this one here. This is somebody who's talking about the issues that are going on in our community. This is Dr. George C. Frazier. I never heard of him, but this is a great video that he's putting on here for us today. So let's play a little bit of his video here.
Biggest challenges Black people have for the next 100 years. The number one challenge is the existential crisis of the Black family. The existential crisis of the Black family. Marriage in our culture is down to 34%. When we were growing up, it was 85%, is now down to 34%.
I got to pause it right there. I got to pause it. I apologize for the audio. I can't do anything about the sound. I hope that you can hear it. But he's saying that it's down crazy and all that kind of stuff. And there's a post here on the left side talk about what's going on in Canada. I'm going to put that up as well. Black Canadians. And so we think this is a U.S. problem, and this is another big problem I have, is that we think this is a U.S. problem. It's not simply or solely a U.S. problem. There's going to be some data we're going to give about what's going on with Black Canadians as well. So let's continue on with this brother's video. I cannot do anything about the sound.
71% of our sisters are not married. 29% will never get married. 63% of our brothers are not married. 30% of them will never get married. There is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family at the center of their culture. This only exists. This is an interesting but negative statistic. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American Black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora. So there must be something in the water. We must fix this. It is a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth. Quick statistics. For 350 years, household median income was dominated by white people. They were number one in this country. They no longer are number one, they're number three, and there's a reason for it. So, who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians, $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Two are working.
He said 104,000. I think he meant 140,000. So I think that's what he was saying.
Number two, Chinese Asians. Household median income $110,000 a year, marriage rate close to 70%. Number three are white people. Household median income $88,000 a year with the marriage rate almost 50%, down significantly. Number four are Hispanics. Household median income $61,000 a year, marriage rate close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income $55,000 a year.
Again, I want to pause it right here. Think about what he just said. Median income, family household income. A lot of us have single parent homes. We're making $55,000 a year roughly. And even if they do include both parents, still $55,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. So he's just running through the numbers. I just want to kind of bring that to a head.
Marriage rate 34%, and projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years. This is an enormous challenge. That's a whole talk by itself on how do we fix it. It can be fixed, but we have to, first of all, understand that this is a problem. No one's talking about this problem. This is a huge problem. It's the number one problem in our culture. So we must fix it.
Wow. Rules? No rules. Anything goes, but no.
Sorry about that. So I just want to oh yeah, let's see here. And here is some statistics from let's see. This one. I don't know where somebody got this from, but this was in the video that we just played. Somebody linked it in the video here. It says Black Canadians have the lowest marriage rate and the highest divorce. Include family structure. In 2001, 27% of Black Canadian families were lone parent families, which was the highest rate among all Canadians. Common law relationships, 6% of Black Canadians lived in common law relationships. That's not a lot, though, which is the highest percentage among ethnic Canadians. Well, I guess in comparison to ethnics. Mixed unions, 2011, 40.2% of Black Canadians were in mixed unions, which was the third highest rate among visible minority groups. Mixed unions are more common among people with university degrees in cities in same-sex unions. However, even though mixed-race unions are becoming more common, some say that people still face racism. So, I don't know where this came from, but somebody put it in the chat there. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So somebody put that in the chat there. So anyway, so that was from that brother's Facebook. Well, I got this from Facebook, obviously, but that's some of the challenges we have to deal with. So how long is this going to continue to be acceptable, and how long are we going to continue to hide behind that? So I don't blame you, Shiree Wyatt. I don't like chaos either. Let's see. Good night, Dolores. They need to go to therapy. Therapy is not. I'm not in favor of therapy fixing the collective problem of our marriages, the collective problems of our ratchetness. And I'm going to play a video in a little bit talking about this. I'm not in favor of therapy. Is not going to fix that. You going to therapy, me going to therapy is not going to fix the collective mindset that we got going on. There's mental stuff going on here. Racism amongst other Black women and Black men is so much that it hurts. Totally understand, agree. It's not a Black. It's a Black worldwide. Trust me. Yeah, well, that's what the Canadian thing was talking about there. Let's see. Men put the boring man down as well. I don't know how many times I hear Black men talking about Russell Wilson is being boring, and I don't hear Black women talking about him as much. Yeah, that is. I've noticed that too. I don't understand the whole Russell Wilson thing. They clown him, I think, a lot for him taking on a baby's mother and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. That is an interesting phenomenon. Maybe you need an East Indian husband. Black women buy Miss China stuff all the time. Black people use the Chinese goods, food. Nobody likes business. I'm so over it. Yeah, they can't stand him being Russell. Yeah, I don't think they can stand him either. So, so those are the things that kind of surprised me. Let's see. I think those are the things that I want to talk about. My favorite episodes, things I got going on in the future. I do have a couple of playlists, and of course, you guys can always hit me up in the comment section or in my email if you want to discuss. If you want me to discuss anything, those are the biggest things. So I want to end this off, and then I'll open up the panel if anybody wants to come up and say anything. I do have, here's a video I want to show about how to get Black men back to church. Okay, if you're not sure about how to get Black men back to church, then here is a video. We're going to show that how to get Black men back to church.
And God ain't pleased. How they gonna celebrate Jesus when that thing thinking? They trying their best not to look at her. Look. He got his whole face blocked. He tried to... Look at Pastor. He would not look to the left. Look. That's right. Look toward the hill which cometh your help. Look at that thing over there. Look. Oh, wait a minute. No, man. He doesn't look. He had to get a little peek in. We got to go back to choir robes, or you gonna have to sing. You got to sing behind the choir stand. But they up there struggling. Let's go back to choir robes. There ain't no way I'm celebrating Jesus when that thing out there like that. God bless you, ministers. Y'all.
So anybody's wondering how you get brothers back to church, that's how you get them back to church, Let me see here. Do I got another video here? Okay, that's not what I want to play. Let's try this one here. Let me switch. I gotta switch my profile here. Hold on a second here. I apologize. You're right about that. There's no first lady there. There's no church mama there, church mother. It's crazy. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, somebody sent me a couple of videos here, and I'm going to play Damon Wayans again here.
And I thought about it. As a Black man, we are the only people on social media platforms that seem to create extensive content on dragging each other down. Men spend much of our time talking about how horrible our women are. Women talk about how horrible our men are. Women talk about how horrible our women are. And what is that all about, really? I don't see where other groups, maybe I'm just not in the know, but I don't see where other groups just take their public platforms to just degrade and dehumanize and diminish their own. But we do this. And then we want to know, why is it that we can't seem to develop relationships, healthy relationships within the Black community? I think it boils down to self-hatred. I don't know if we really like ourselves or not, because I cannot look at a person that looks just like me and have all of these negative things to say about them without that being the reflection of the fact that I don't really feel good about myself. Now, I know I may get some flack for this, but you got to at least think about it. What does that say about us, that we have all of this to say? I woke up this morning.
A couple more videos here. Let's try this one here. Degrading each other. I haven't seen it, or you have seen it. Is that what you meant? R.C. Blake's. I never heard of him. R.C. Blake's. Let's see.
These women show up like, look here, I did it. I secured the bag. I got the education. Love me. And then all the masculine men are like this. Cool story, bro. Now, here is when we got to hear about, why am I single? I got my own stuff. I got my own place. Y'all cannot handle a strong woman like me. I'm beautiful. I'm in shape. I got my bag. Why am I still single? What's wrong with y'all? You talking all that junk about your money and this and the third, and he over here cheating with a broke chick because she pays attention to him and cares for him and nurtures him and is available to him. Now, before you know it, you in a relationship with your career and your man in a relationship with a woman with way less than you. Having your money together, is charged off to the game as you just simply being an adult. It's an aspect of yourself that you get no credit for.
So I cannot wait to have Dr. Chris Marsh on the show. I really can't, because she talks a little bit about everything that we're talking about tonight in this situation about why Black women are single, and and she talked about the Black middle class as shrinking concerning its number one overall numbers, and then those who are entering the middle class are men entering the middle class by themselves and women entering the middle class by themselves. Women, again, buying homes and property and businesses and 401ks, et cetera, et cetera. And so what's interesting, and this is, I'm actually audio booking it, so I'm saying I'm reading it, but I'm actually listening to it. And I had to clip this part because there's a part, I won't play it here, but there's a part where she talks about exactly what this lady was saying, is that, what she talks about is men who are of a certain economic stature. And this is so unpopular, but I keep saying it because this is true. Men who are at certain economic stature, if they want someone who's going to provide the exact opposite of what they want, then that it has been labeled violence by the academic and scholarly community. Hear what I just said. It's considered violence. If a man wants his woman to be a stay-at-home wife or follow his lead, essentially, then they consider that to be violence, not physical violence. They said it quite plainly in the book, not physical violence, not that he's threatening her, but just the fact that he wants to be a leader in his home and not have a co-equal partner relationship is considered violence. I can't wait to ask her about that. And I'm looking forward to the show. We're going to have a great cordial conversation, but I'm going to ask her about that. Is it really violence because a guy, and most of the time women say they want a leader, protector, provider. So how is it violence? These words mean something. If you're teaching in academia, and I'm not saying that she thought that. I think she was actually quoting some other studies and all that. Well, we'll get into that, in a few weeks. But I'll try to put up the book that I'm reading here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Chris Marsh books. It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Let me try to put up. This is the book that I'm referencing here. So she's coming on the show. So anybody wants to catch up, this is the show. The Love Jones Cohort, Economic Social Equality, and Single and Living Alone in the Middle Class. So I'm audio booking it right now. I'm on chapter 4, I think. So you guys want to check it out, and she's going to come on the show February 9th. So you got time to read it, listen to it, whatever you're going to do. So if you guys are interested, but it's crazy. I can't wait to be a housewife. Okay. I lead at work. I would love to come home and not have to lead. Yeah. Well, just make sure your husband isn't violent. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. Women want a man to open the door for her, pull out a chair, walk on the inside her, but she doesn't want him to be the head of a household. Yeah, I know, right? Make it make sense, Gloria. Again, I'm reading these. This. Sometimes I think there's such a disconnect between academia and real life, man. It's just, and of course they're doing studies. They are, interviewing people. She interviewed for this particular book, and there's a paper that she wrote a while ago, 2007, I think the paper that she wrote in 2007 is the basis for this book that she just released. When did she release this book? Fairly recently. A publication date 2023. So she's been on the same kind of thing for quite some time. So the paper that she interviewed, she's interviewed like 60 people from the DMV area, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I gotta remember what DMV stands for. And so she interviewed these people, and this is what they're telling her, right? And of course she's quoting different papers and stuff. So yeah, listen, I don't know. We're gonna have a good conversation. I'm looking for that. Okay. I think that might be all. Okay, so this is the last video, and we're gonna call it for tonight. This is the last video that I want to play. And we were talking. Here's what I'm talking about. And I'm glad that somebody wrote in here. I think it was NW wrote something in here about the culture that we grew up in, and when is this culture going to stop? When are we going to stop blaming this culture? When are we gonna stop looking at this culture and saying that it's okay and it's it's the way we are, and this is the household we grew up in. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm saying that we got to get away from this. And here is the culture. Here is the culture. Not all of it, not everyone, but this shines so negatively upon you all that it's really embarrassing at this point. And as I'm really embarrassed to have to show this, but here's what we're dealing with here. So this is from Neka C. Oniolofor. I'm probably butchering her name there at the bottom of the screen here. So she got this, and she is, when we talk about positive ladies out here, she's definitely a positive lady who's doing some good work. She's obviously, from her name, is African traditionally. So this African American thing that the doctor that I played before is a real thing. And here's a woman who got here from the continent. And the same thing I talk about with the Bohemian girl, I think that's her name, lady from Bahamas. They have a different culture, and they get here and they're like, what is going on with their culture here? So here is what this woman is listening to, and we're just going to play the first few moments of this particular video so you can see the foolishness that's going on out here.
Necessary to have a whole phase throughout.
Oh yeah, I had been with this guy for 5 years, so I wasn't really having sex with a lot of people. And so for one summer, I said, I'm gonna do whatever I feel in the moment that I feel it. There was this time where I was at this bar having this meeting with this girl, and this bartender was just giving me the eyes and just kept giving me these blueberry mojitos or something. And the bar was kind of empty. So I was like, I'm going to go use the bathroom. And I'm like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. There was. But I was like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. And so he's like, oh, okay, I got you. And so
this is a good story.
Right. And he come to get me the toilet paper. We end up in the freezer. In the freezer.
I'll cheers to that. I guess I never had a whole face then, because what in the
Come on. I'm gonna have sex in the freezer if I want to have sex with the freezer.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean? Now I could get down. I got a sex positive family. Okay. I come from a sex positive mother. I'm one of 7. She got all different daddies. Okay. Maybe it's crazy.
Period.
Okay.
Now why your mama catch a straight like that?
She's one of 7. She's one of 7, and her mama had 7 baby daddies. Let me play that again for you all in the back there who didn't catch that.
Family. Okay. I come from a sex positive mother. I'm one of 7. She got all different daddies. Okay. Maybe it's crazy.
Okay.
Now why your mama catch a straight like that?
She know what it is.
I feel like it's totally opposite for me in the sense like I really do agree that women should have a whole phase. Every time I've tried to have a whole phase, I always run into somebody with a very small penis.
Oh
Every
my
time.
God, that's
And it's just
I had a whole phase later on in life because I got married super young, and so it's like it's kind of hard to hoe at 40. You know what I mean? Like it's a little harder to hoe.
I know a lot of hoes.
I'm
All the hoes is 40 and over.
It's just harder. Like the pickings is slimmer. You know.
But I want to hear about your whole phase.
I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah. Make some noise.
Keep cozy this fall and winter. TMS does it best. Furnaces, boilers, heat pumps, ductless.
We gotta support our sister. Come on now.
Hopefully I don't get flagged for this video.
So that's her. You guys can go over there and check out her video. She's going to rant about them, and make sure you go over there and give her a like if you do that. But this is what we're dealing with. And young ladies are looking at this and saying, "Okay, I can do it. I can go have sex. Yes, in the food freezer. Yes, I can go have sex in the food freezer. People clap it up. Yeah, give her some love." Somebody should show this video to the doctor that we had that was on there. This is what you're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. You got to overcome that. You want to overcome these terrible family values. You want to overcome the terrible family values. Get people married, stay married, increase our financial wealth, increase all this stuff. Things you talked about, people want to be compared to East Indian families who are married at 94%. Chinese families, second in the U.S., third is white. Did she even know this dude? She said it was the bartender. She said it was the bartender. Didn't have enough toilet paper. Seduce him to come in here, and next thing you know, she's giving up to this dude. And the problem is, I agree with you, NW. The problem is that they're teaching ladies behind them to have the same type of mentalities. The young girls who are growing up seeing this, thinking it's okay to be at this way at 20. Meanwhile, that there's a whole saying about young girls ring by spring. In other words, by the time they graduate from college, that they have a ring. We don't think nothing about that. And that's why I played the other video about you have a relationship with your job. It ain't safe out of here. All she cared about was getting drinks and getting banged in the freezer next to the meat that you eat. I used to be interested in fighting for them. I'm not interested anymore. Just like April Mason, help from afar away. Listen, what are you going to say? And they're putting this on. This is on. I don't know where it was. TV, YouTube. Everybody sees this. Everybody sees this. And then you think that people want to marry that. And you think of other, I was going to play a couple of videos. I'm not going to play. We've been on for an hour and 10 minutes now. I was going to play some other videos about some of these other ladies who just want white guys. Okay, I just want, you think a white family, you think a white respectable family is going to, even if you're a good girl, even if you're a quote unquote a good girl who's got good morals, values and stuff, there is still a cultural stigma that we have. And people don't seem to understand that. They don't get it. They don't believe it. That might be your sister. It could be your cousin, right? Because when you mix families, you can't just think, or you shouldn't just think that just because you get married to somebody that you guys are going to have this insular family dynamic of traditional values. You're still going to go over each other's houses for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for barbecues, for cookouts, to meet at the family functions, to meet at the kids' choir rehearsals and piano recitals and football games. They don't want that in their family. They don't want that in their family. They don't want that in their family. That's why I said nobody's rocking when it's like that. And you want to know why nobody's rocking when it's like that? Because we glorify this kind of foolishness. That's why nobody rocks with us like that. It's got nothing to do with race. It's crazy. You might be a great person as a black female or whatever, black male. It doesn't really matter. But when they look at videos like that, all they see is a degenerate culture, and they think that this is what you're going to come from, and we don't want that in our family. We don't want our children to be around that, and this is what they think. I had a friend in the PD. His wife's, I want to say his brother, somehow his wife was brother-in-law, cousin, something like that. He told me a story. This dude, white dude, loved sisters, loved them. He would get in. The sister was dragging him through the mud. White dude, loved sisters, dragging him through the mud, getting in fights, getting arrested. This is what she sees as a white family. And this guy is telling me the story. We're working together. we were both captains at the time. He's telling me the story about his wife, about his brother-in-law's cousin or somebody on his wife's side. Loved the sisters, but just dragging the whole family down. They were just embarrassed. I'm not saying this is not obviously not all. Obviously, it's not all. But I'm saying that this creates a bad public image. So to the question about the R.C. Blakes, I agree that we got to stop talking about it and stop glorifying and stop talking about each other. But we got to figure out a way to fix this. We got to figure out a way to fix this. And when they put this up there, man, it should have been bleeped out. It should have been canceled. It should have. No, who else is R.C. Blake's talking about us glorifying this stuff? Who else is putting up videos like that? Show me the video of the East Indian family doing that, talking like this. Send me the video about an East Indian or Chinese family doing that. You might be able to find some white ones. You might be able to find some white ones, some Hispanic ones. You might be able to. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but show me those two dominant groups as far as financial status and social mobility and all that. Show me the videos of them putting on what was just there. Yeah. Give her a hand. Yeah, you still don't get to 7 kids, but 7 men. You can't think that that's. You can't think that that's. We don't want to be around that either. Yeah, listen. Man, it's crazy. Yeah. Unfortunately, the skin color is the first thing people see, and smoke comes with it. This is what I'm saying. But people see Asian people's skin color. They see the East Indian family's skin color, but they don't associate that with that. They don't associate that type of degenerate behavior. That's nasty. No T in that. That's nasty. It makes us all look bad. Absolutely. They don't do that foolishness. That's what I'm saying. You can't show me a videos like that. All right, let me drop the link if anybody wants to come up. You guys can come up and conversatione. If not, we'll call it for tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you to anyone who's going to watch this, who's watching it. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I don't know where we're at with the likes, but make sure you hit the like button. The comments are there. Let's see here. There's a favorite show or something you want to talk about, you guys can certainly come up and all that. So the link is in the chat. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes, but those are the videos that I wanted to show. Some black moving to Japan and they're enjoying it. People don't want to be bothered, and I think that that's a problem too, man. And so many people are just willing to give up. Hello, HJ. So many people are just willing to give up. What if our ancestors? And this is the problem that I have. What if our ancestors just would have said, forget it. We're just enslaved. We're not going to reach back and help other enslaved people. We've gone through Jim Crow. We're not going to do anymore. These people fought for us to be the place we are, and this is how we repay them. What other race has so many baby daddies and glorifying? She talked about it. I come from a sex positive family, and they got this, and I'm one of 7, and my mama got 7 baby daddies. Oh my God. Yes, sir, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Smash the like button. Please do that. Please do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, this is all about you guys too, man. You guys are hitting the like button. You guys are watching the videos. You guys are in the comment section. I really appreciate this. Is about you all. I want to say thank you to you all. This is not about me. It's about you all to have subscribed. Continue to subscribe. I've lost some subs along the way. People have not disagreed with me. I had some arguments in the chats, in the comment section, which I appreciate. And I just want to say thank you, and all that. So, yeah, this is about you all, celebrating you all. And I want to know what you all are looking for, what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. And I got some ideas already for tonight to say thank you to you all. And, you guys could, I'm sure you're watching other people and all that, but you don't have to watch me. And I just want to say thank you. Or you're going to have to come up with a plan to push for change. Yeah, I have a plan. I actually have a plan. More people seem to come on the later it goes, right? Am I doing this too early? I'm going to start rethinking this time here. I got to think about people on the West Coast too. Maybe I should do it later on at night. Yeah, maybe I'll change the time to later on at night. I do have a plan, but it's going to take, that's why I talk to these sociologists and teachers and stuff, because it's again, it's not going to be, as I talk about Amos Wilson, it's not going to be one person with a plan. This has got to be a momentous undertaking that's going to involve churches. It's going to involve all different types of religious leaders. It's going to involve sororities. It's got to involve any professional organization, Black Lawyers Association, and the police. We have what's called the Guardians. There's another thing in the police force called Noble, National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. You can't be in that organization unless you're a lieutenant and above. There's Guardians for Black Guardians and all that. There's a Black organization for corrections officers. It's going to take all these different types of corrections officers. I don't think you should be able to join any of these organizations unless you outline document or plan. This would be my plan. You ask me what my plan would be. You can't join the Black Lawyers Association, can't join the Black accountants, Black teachers, you name it, unless you adhere to these principles. And some of them have to be marrieds. You can't be on videos showing your tail like these ladies are doing. You can't be on this type of stuff. We have to set a cultural standard. We have to set a cultural standard. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll try to do something later. Grassroots is going to be it. Yeah. And it can't. I'm not looking to monetize it, right? As soon as you start what I mean by monetizing it is you have some big executive at the top. That can't happen because it's just going to get corrupted. So I'm saying, in order to join this, all these organizations that we have, fraternities, sororities, right? You have to have some type of cultural standard, some type of what I want to say, some type of moral ethics, code of ethics that you have to adhere to. And so and then of course church is going to have to do it, right? The churches that we saw and all that. You can't. I'm not saying you can't join a church, but you can't move up in the church. You can't become a deacon or the church mother unless you have these cultural standards and ethics that we're all going to adhere to as Black folks. As Black folks, that's what I'm saying. So the loss of standards is one of the reasons I declined sorority process. It was smoke and mirrors. Yeah. Well, I don't know enough about them, but I've heard that as well. I do know a lady. I was seeing a lady one time, and she was she was really big, and she was in her 40s, like still really big in the sorority. I guess you can be, but and it's this sorority, and was just doing everything for the sorority. I'm like, what's your life? What's going on here? So I don't know. Not all. This is what I'm saying. We should have this. You should have the same standards. You should, all these sororities, all these fraternities, all these different professional organizations, Black Plumbers Association, Black Firefighters, they all should have the same. I mean, you can have whatever it is that adhere to being a Black firefighter. I'm not saying that, but there ought to be 5 or 6 principles in here that here's what we're going to do, and we're not going to talk about having relations in closets with strangers. You can't do that. Otherwise, you're out of this organization, or certainly you can't be in leadership in the organization at a minimum. I mean, I don't want people to not join, but if you're going to be a part of the Black Lawyers or Black Architecture Association, you got to have a standard, and that's part of that standard is you can't live this certain way. You can't be saying this type of stuff, and if you do, then you can't be, especially in leadership, maybe even in organization at all. That's just crazy to me. It's crazy. Yeah, but they lost their class. But how do they lose it, and why do they lose? That's what we got to get to. How do they lose it? Why do they lose it? And according to the doctor we played before, right? There's so many different reasons as to why this occurred. And the breakdown of the family has to be the central theme, and a lot of sociologists won't admit that. I've been reading a lot of their literature. They are not going to admit that the breakdown of the family is the problem. They're not going to admit it. They're not. We can build another type of family. We can do something differently. The middle class can look differently. We can do certain things a certain different way. The nuclear family isn't essential. All this type of stuff. Sociologists will never admit that the breakdown of the family is the issue. I think that I got a video going to come out. I'm going to try to get it done. Well, it's already edited, so maybe I'll drop it tomorrow or Friday. Talking about men masculinity in the media. Well, maybe I don't know how I'm going to name it, but it's going to be about men, media, and masculinity. I talk a little bit about this pushback that has gone on, particularly in the media, because I'm reviewing a movie that just came out, Kraven the Hunter, which I enjoyed. And I talk a little bit about these people want their masculinity back. Men want their masculinity back. We've seen the breakdown of the family. Remember, when white America gets the cold, Black America gets the flu. And so people are seeing there's a big panic now around men, and particularly white men who don't have jobs, who are sitting home playing video games, who don't have any push, drive, or ambition, and they're not doing anything all day. And that is why Trump won the election, because they want to get away from this. They don't want to hear anything about pronouns. They don't want to hear anything about bathrooms. They don't want to hear anything about money going overseas to fight wars. They don't want to hear anything about that. They want to know about America first, and when they want to make sure that their men, that their boys have jobs, careers, goals, and ambitions. That's what they want to know. And that's why Trump got elected. They don't want to hear all this other stuff, and they want their traditional values back. Like it or love it. And so they don't want their communities sliding down the same scale as, unfortunately, I'm going to say it, that they see African American communities going down. This is what happened when Black men don't have jobs. We see that. This is what they see, that the Black community doesn't have jobs, that the fathers are not fathers, that they're not around, they're not present, they're not viable. And we don't want that to happen to us. We want you to do something about it. And so that therefore they elect somebody differently. Well, yeah, we get COVID. You're right about that. Each generation trained a different way in adding toxic teachings. I think the toxic teachings are coming from schools, from the cultural malaise that's going on here, the social media stuff that we just watched. It's crazy. In order for us to make moves, it needs to be done in secrecy. We talk about our plans to everyone. Well, that's true. There is a great deal of truth to that. But that's why I'm saying it should be a decentralized. What I'm saying is decentralized organization, if you can have that, more of a grassroots type of thing. And in order, it takes nothing to say, listen, this is the standards of the church. We played the video where the lady was dancing in the church. I played the video of the lady dancing in the church. Where's the church mother at to tell this lady to sit down? But the pastor doesn't want to say anything to her because she's a great singer. I'm just guessing. I don't know these people. Because she's a great singer, because she's entertaining, because people come to see her. But this is what you get. This is what you get. Now the little girls are sitting in the seats watching this, and next thing you know, they want to grow up and sing like her. She's wearing that. I can wear something just as tight as well. Then the same little girl will go home and turn on YouTube and see these other sisters up here who look to be semi-well-to-do, see them talking the way they're talking about having relations in freezers. This is what we're up against. You think Compton started the first black on black crime and gang? Do you think Compton started the first black on black crime and gang? I think that gangs in some form or fashion have always been around. I've never, been a police officer. They used to, take us through these gang classes, and I was never convinced of anything they would be saying. They would say the gang started in Chicago. I watched a video that I thought was more convincing about how gangs started in Compton, California, and the documentaries that I watched talked about how they started, and the reason that they started was, I'm trying to remember, because the black kids, 13, 14-year-olds, were forbidden from joining the YMCAs, Boy Scouts, and what's the other one? Cub Scouts. So the black parents who moved there, because they moved to these places because of the great migration that was going on. And so they end up getting jobs in LA before the factories shut down and all that kind of stuff. And so they wanted their kids to be upper middle class, join the broader society, join the Cub Scouts, join Boy Scouts, teach them some survival techniques, and take little old ladies across the street and all this kind of stuff. But they were so racist at the time that they wouldn't let them do it. So that they said, okay, we're going to form our own gangs or our own clubs. And they eventually got more violent because of the racism that was going on, right? I'm living in this neighborhood. Little white boys would come on down here and throw rocks at us and terrorize my grandmother. So we got to protect ourselves. So that was really the genesis of the gangs in LA, according to this documentary that I watched a couple of years back. So, but they all say the gang started in Chicago and all that. I don't know about all that. You can go back, 1,000 years. There was some kind of gang. There was some gang somewhere. So, and there's gangs in overseas. I just don't believe that, the general criminal justice teaching that I got. I was always like, you guys are full of it. I started to see young generations of females wearing big pants, not covering up more because Kia and DDG. So I guess they're starting to cover up. Oh, that's just a fashion. But I mean, they may be covering up, but they're still, taking them off and pulling them down when they want to get things done. So, all right. So I appreciate everyone who's watching. 36 people watching right now. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Somebody said we're going to get to 25,000. I think it was Miles who said that. I appreciate that. We will see you again at 25,000. I appreciate that. And yeah, we're going to keep striving, keep going. It's going to be up to you guys. Keep hitting the like buttons, sharing the videos, and just telling your friends and your neighbors and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it's going to be. And again, you guys got my email address. I'll put it in here if you don't. So yeah, so that's my email. So you guys can send me show ideas, send me videos. If you send me a long clip, an hour-long clip, please make sure you send me a timestamp with that. I mean, I enjoy doing what I do, but I don't have to sit around. I can't sit around watching 4 or 5 videos all day and trying to figure out the timestamp. So if you send me a video, make sure you send me a timestamp. Thank you. I love you too, Crystal. I really, really appreciate. This is really about you guys. I keep saying that, but man, that's a good question. How old is YouTube? I don't know. We probably have to Google that. But I would say came out 2004. Wait a minute. I was a sergeant and lieutenant. 2003, 2004. Let's Google it. Uh, 2005. I was close. 2005. February. Let me put it on the screen here. Present. February 5th. February 14th, 2005. That's when it first came out. Yeah. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Y'all hit the like button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much. Chris is getting a great introduction to African American culture. Let's see. The like button. I will certainly try to keep doing that. Yeah, we're close. Oh, how old my YouTube channel is. Oh, this one is a year. So again, I started off by saying I started the channel after this channel, right after I got my degree. And I got my degree last year, in October, the end of October. So within days after me completing my doctorate is when I started it. So it's a little more than a year old, a year and 2 months or so. Yeah, a year and 2 months. I apologize. I thought you were talking about how old is YouTube, period. Yes, I apologize. So I don't know if that's good or not, is to get 10K subs in a year. Let's look that up. Oh, okay. According to available data, the average YouTube channel can expect to gain 1,000 subs in a year. The number may vary. Oh, okay. Well, I'm way ahead of schedule there. I thought I don't. Well, this is what AI is saying. I don't know how true that is. It can't be 1,000 subs in a year. Let's see this. Other people just want to sell you stuff. So that's what is on the screen here is the book that I'm going to that I'm reading right now by Dr. Chris Marsh, where she's going to come on the show and all that. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I haven't seen any channel like yours really with the qualified PhD you bring to talk about Black love. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I'm still learning. I mean, there's a lot that I'm learning. I admit that, and I'm reading a lot of material. I'm consuming a lot of material to catch up. This is not my forte. I was married, as you all know, I was married for 18 years. So I'm coming back out here, and it's like hitting a brick wall. It's like jumping into a cold bath. I mean, ice cold bath. It's just like, what has happened to this dating market here? So I'm trying to catch up and try to figure out what's going on. So yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's not unnoticed. And again, this is about you guys. You guys saw something, liked it, hit the like button, and all that kind of stuff. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I do ask that people go back and read and watch the other content for the for the views and hit the like button. It makes everything grow, and a lot of things I've covered before, and I want to continue to hit all this type of stuff. But I do appreciate the new people who are watching and all that. Oh, listen, she's around here somewhere. She's always at my feet too, so I don't know where she's at. This cat. She's always around. Oh, thank you so much, Crystal. I will certainly do that. Yeah, bring the cat. I don't know where she's at. The one time she's not here. She's always on my feet. She's always here. So if anybody else wants to send me a cash app or anything, I would appreciate that. Let's see. I hit the thumbs up button. All right. Let me stop sharing this. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna call it a night if nobody else has any other questions or anything. I do. Again, this is about you guys. I appreciate you all. And to the future watchers, I hope that you guys are getting something out of it and really thinking about the plight of number one of our community in the state of dating. And it's really unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate that we're here and all that kind of stuff. So it's really unfortunate. Yes, ma'am. I did show a few videos here, so quite entertaining. That's quite entertaining. So I'll upload a picture of my cat. How about that? I don't. Well, I keep saying my cat. It's actually my daughter's cat that she refuses to take back. So she abandoned this cat at my house. So, but all right. So we've been on an hour and 37 minutes. Please go back and watch the replay. Please make sure you hit the like button. And if there's anything else that you need me to want me to talk about, make sure you hit me the email. So many people have done that already. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. And she knows it too. She knows it too. She don't like anybody else. It's crazy. She don't like anybody else. She hissed at my mother. It's absolutely crazy. She does not like anybody else. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. It's just absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So I have discussed I think I did 2 shows about after dating after 50, and another one was dating why can't guys over 35 get it together. So check those episodes out. If there's something particularly you want me to address, I put my email in here. It's on every single video that I upload. It's in the comment section of the uploads. So if there's something else you want me to talk about in particular, I do have a playlist that's going to be coming out. I have not started recording it yet, but I am looking forward to it about some of these topics, showing parenting, empty nesters, things like that. So, but if there's more dating stuff you want me to talk about, please make sure that you send me that. I've been so disappointed with Netflix. I'm about to cancel that. The only reason I haven't yet is because my kids want to watch. I'm so disappointed with Netflix. I think George speaking was showing Netflix. Have you discussed later? I haven't seen Later Daters. Yeah, I'm totally missing you guys here. So I have not seen the show. I don't remember even seeing the advertisement for it because I haven't been watching Netflix because I'm just disappointed with that. So, but I will check it out and all that. So I'll try to check it out. But sometimes these shows, man, they just bother me. So it was great. Okay, well, I'll check it out. I'll try to trust you guys here. So don't listen. I get mad at people that tell me to watch a movie and it's terrible. you are not hearing the end of it. I'm like, this is 2 hours of my life I can't get back. I feel like the DDG and Kia video are helping the teens a tiny bit, stay out of trouble. Okay, I'm not aware of these people. I'm not aware of these people. So send me a video about them, or maybe I'll do whatever. But I'm not aware of who they are. But if they're doing something, if they're positive rappers or influencers or something, and they're telling people to cover up and all this kind of stuff, then I'm all for it, obviously. Congratulations. It's good to see a positive image of black men being promoted in the algorithm. Oh, I appreciate that. If it's coming across your algorithm, that means something. Make sure that you guys hit the like button. I said it about every video that is watched. You really should be. If you watch a video all the way through, mine or somebody else's, you really should hit the like button. If you want this content to go, you got to hit the like button. You got to hit it. I'm discerning, but this was worth watching. Okay, I'll check it out. Later days was sad but true. Okay, I would definitely check it out. I'll definitely put it on my hit list here, and I will try to get through it in the next few days. So I haven't seen it. Let's see. I'm looking for this cat now. It's kind of bothering me now because she's always here. She's usually, you guys can't see it, but in front of my monitors here, she's usually right there. And then she sticks her little paw in there and tries to swipe at me sometimes. So I don't know where she's at now. So let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be no show on this coming Sunday. No show on this coming Sunday. That's why I did a show tonight. I have something to do, and make sure you guys enjoy your holiday season. Whatever you celebrate, Christmas or Kwanzaa, or if you what's the Jewish one? Yom Kippur, whatever it is. Make sure make sure that you guys are enjoying. She probably did. Yeah, she knows I'm looking for her. She knows I'm looking for her. I don't know. She's and so make sure you enjoy your holiday season. Do the real reason for the season. That's to embrace family, to love them, to let old grievances and grudges go away and all that kind of stuff, right? Really make sure that you make the most out of this season. So Christmas is next week, 7 days from now. Hope you guys did all your shopping and all that. I don't do that anymore, so I just give people money. So all right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate you guys coming on here. Really appreciate you guys. This is about you guys. This show is about you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. So thank you. Yes, happy holidays. Pastor Lynn, I liked and shared, but I came across this late, so I watched the replay. Yes, thank you so much. That means something. Yes, you all enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the holidays. This will probably be the last live show of the year, and then I'm going to consider changing the times to later, just to make sure that we get the people on the West Coast there and all that kind of stuff. So I will consider doing that because, if you're in Vegas or whatever, it's 7:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon here. So yeah, it's definitely all about that. Definitely all about family. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. I'll see you guys. Enjoy your holidays. The video dropping tomorrow or Friday. And I might call that it for the year. And then I got videos already set up lined up to do something in January. So I'll see you guys. Take care. Enjoy your holidays and stay safe. As I'm telling you this as a police officer, stay safe. Do not drink and drive. So many times we used to have to go tell people that their family members were deceased on the holidays because they were drinking and driving and all that kind of stuff. This is a tragic time. So be careful. I'm telling you, I had to do this all the time. So be careful with your drinking. If you do anything else, just sit in the house. Don't get in the car with people who are drinking and all that kind of stuff. So I'm always concerned about innocent people. A lot of times, the people are taking care of themselves, but then somebody else has been drinking, and then they hit an innocent couple and all that kind of stuff. All these different stories I could tell you, but it's just horrible. So just take care of yourselves. All right, hit the like button. Take care of yourselves. Much love and peace. Enjoy your holidays.